Life is not a straight line. It's a series of twists, turns, and unexpected roadblocks. And in those moments when the path feels impossible, when the setbacks seem too heavy to bear, resilience becomes your greatest tool. But what does it mean to be resilient? And how do you keep going when it gets hard? Let me share a story with you. A real story about a friend of mine named Ryan. Ryan was a dreamer. He wanted to start his own small business, a bakery in his hometown. He'd worked hard for years, saving every penny, learning recipes, perfecting his craft. And when he finally opened his doors, it was beautiful. The smell of fresh bread, the warmth of the space. It felt like a dream come true. But then, just a few months in, disaster struck. A sudden fire burned his bakery to the ground. Everything was gone. His savings, his equipment, his hopes. I still remember standing with him outside the rubble, watching as years of hard work smoldered into ash. He didn't say much that day. He just kept staring, his eyes full of disbelief. For weeks after, Ryan was lost. He told me, "What's the point? I gave everything and look where it got me." This is where resilience comes in. You see, resilience isn't about avoiding pain. It's about facing it. It's about choosing to get back up, even when you feel like you can't. And that's exactly what Ryan did. Instead of giving up, he decided to start small again. He didn't have the money for a new bakery, but he had his recipes. So he began baking from his home. He sold bread to neighbors, to friends, and to anyone who'd support him. Every loaf he sold wasn't just bread. It was a step toward rebuilding his dream. There were moments when he wanted to quit, when he'd sit with me and say, "This isn't how it was supposed to be." But I'd remind him, setbacks are not stop signs, Ryan. They're just detours. Over the next few years, Ryan worked harder than he ever had before. He faced rejection, exhaustion, and moments of doubt, but he kept going. And eventually, he didn't just rebuild his bakery. He made it better than before. Today, his bakery is a landmark in our town. People line up for his bread, not just because it's delicious, but because his story is baked into every slice. So, what does this mean for you? It means setbacks are not the end. They're chapters in your story. You might not see it now, but the pain you're feeling, the obstacles you're facing, they're shaping you. They're preparing you for something greater. Resilience starts with a choice. It starts with deciding that no matter what, you will not give up. Yes, it will be hard. Yes, you will feel like quitting. But in those moments, remember people like Ryan. Remember that your greatest strength lies in your ability to stand back up, even when the world has knocked you down. When you face a setback, and you will, don't ask, "Why me?" Instead ask, "What can I learn from this?" Let every failure teach you. Let every obstacle shape you. And when it feels like you can't take another step, remember Ryan standing in front of those ashes. If he can rise, so can you. You are stronger than you think. You are more capable than you realize. And your setbacks are not roadblocks. They are the foundation of your comeback. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, resilience isn't just about surviving. It's about thriving in the face of adversity. Let your setbacks fuel your comeback. You've got this.